silence, right? If she's silent, then it's yes. And this is a silence. If you want to know what is the best silence in the world, it's the silence of a young woman accepting the marriage of a man. This is the best silence. Because the angels will celebrate. Because from that moment, her number one gate shift to the husband. The number one gate shift to the husband. No more her mother. Now, having said that, what is the gate to the husband? Never change. Now, therefore, the conclusion is, if you want to be democratic, if you use democracy to govern your family between your wife and your mother, and the husband mother and the wife mother, you have a problem. Every time in Malaysia, I have to be also in Indonesia. The problem is that Idul Fitri, Idul Adha. Whose house are we going to go this year? Right? It's a dilemma. Dilemma, confusion, because you have no knowledge. Always, by default, you have to ask your husband, mom. Mom, we ask you, can you relinquish your rights this year? Because we've been going to your house for the past 10 years. My mother is sick. My wife's mother is sick. Can I ask you your right to relinquish your rights? So we want to go in Idul Fitri this year to my mother-in-law. If she says, hard luck, sami'na wa ata'na, and then you have to make a proposal to your wife. Honey, I know it's bad. Here's my deal. When we do this, I want to buy you whatever jewelry that you want, up to X dollars. Anything your choice. Because our paradise, our household, blessing depends on her words. But if your mother, if the mother said, oh, what do you ask me? You should be democracy all the time. Then you are lucky. So the choice is the mothers of the husband. No democratic. And the same thing, if you are in a present, let's say, your mother-in-law, the husband, mom in your home, as a guest. You know, you might be married for 20 years, right? The mother's love to the son never changed. He is the sweetheart of her eye, right? So you and your husband have to prepare before she comes. Because you have to be prepared. You have to be a Boy Scout. You have to have a meeting. Then you have to discuss a strategy. Because it's a door, an opportunity. It will be a trial. Right? You say, honey, you have to discuss, my mom's coming. Can we agree? We don't kiss in the kitchen when she's here. We're not going to hug each other in front of her. Because why? Because my mom is very possessive of me. She doesn't want any woman to be love me better than her. Right? This is her psychology. So for this, when she's here, we just pretend, play it cool. Play it very cool. Right? Why? Because this is her time. This is the way you have to do it. You negotiate. Right? And then when you go to your parents' house, we will listen the same thing. Now the problem is when both of them is in the house, there's a challenge, right? When both of them in your household, then you have to have a meeting. Then you have to pacify yourself. Your mother, your husband, mother want biryani. Your mother-in-law, husband want a pizza. What are you going to do about this? You have a family meeting. We want to have dinner that is blessed in the heavens. That's our objective, right? You say, Mom, I know you like biryani. But I know you like my wife biryani. I know that. I love for you to do that. Is it possible? Why we negotiate? But your best son want a pizza. There is a new pizza place here, just open. Is it okay? My wife will cook your biryani next 3 days. Then you negotiate. You phrase it with 20 sifat Allah. Because we want to have dinner, all of us, with a blessing of paradise, heaven. Not what you like, what I like. We want what Allah rida, right? That's why we have to meeting. This way you manage your household, right? And this is a very critical. And the confusion of this hierarchy can lead us to the hellfire. Even in this dunya, Allah show you, you are in hellfire. But you don't know it. This is very, very serious. At the end of the day, for every man, there are 2 women. And you are stuck. And for women, if your best son never relinquished her right, you have your own son. You have time to express your power. At the end of the day, it's fair. For every wife, you become a mother of a son, of a daughter. It's a woman's world. So man got stuck until he knows which arrow he's going to go between the wife and his mother. And the function of a wife to help him do just that. The moment of the wife doesn't help him or make it worse, that is the beginning of nushuz wife, rebellious wife. That is a beginning, right? Now, we go now, wife's rights. Before I say this, don't get excited. Marriage is business proposition. Marriage is a business between man and a woman, right? What is the key rule of business? When the buyer and the seller agree, correct? The third party, who cares? Who cares, right? Between the buyer and seller. Let's say, both of them, because they are Majnoon and lover and beloved, the wife says, potential wife says, I like to marry you, I want nothing. Even my mom, I don't want it. I just want you to be my husband. And yeah, and if you do that, they were lucky man. Lucky man, right? So this thing is totally irrelevant, and you are lucky. And this thing then up to negotiation. What is mahar? When I married to my wife, the state rule, this is embarrassing. The Malaysian state where I am married, the mahar was fixed. 24 ringgit tunai. You know how much $24? 24 ringgit divided by 3. Less than $8. That's my mahar of my wife. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But mahar is something magic about mahar. It's blessed. Number one, if wife want it, you have to give it to her, as she agreed. And mahar can be utang, loan. But having said that, don't do that. Don't do that. Why? so many tests. It's better to fix amount and do it now. Because otherwise it's messy. Sometimes very romantic. You know, someone in the community said, our my maha is to go to Hajj. That's very romantic. But at that moment, the husband is a student. You know, you don't want through your life, it's in your head. Hajj. What happens if you want to buy your iPod, $500, and you owe the Hajj to your wife? You know, before you buy that iPad, obligatory for you to ask your wife, honey, I know I owe you at Hajj. Can I buy my iPad for a while? If she said no, I want my Hajj, you cannot buy your iPad. You know, it's a very serious matter. The same way if you utang, you have a loan, before you go to Hajj, you have to ask that debtor, that creditor, I want to go to Hajj. You know that I pay this monthly, right? He said, yes. Can I go to Hajj? If he said, no, I want the whole thing. I don't know what happened now. You might die because there's infection there. Then you cannot go. Utang is a very serious matter. So don't add this complicated thing in your marriage, right? Now, mahar, the second thing about mahar is, number one, your wife's rights. You cannot touch it, you're going to use it, you're going to do anything with it except her. Until she says, let's say you give your wife $100,000. Allah bless you with wealth, $100,000. With a gold colored check, American Express. $100,000. Tuna check. That's it. It's hers. Secondly, she don't have to pay zakat a single penny. Not a single zakat for a single penny of $100,000. And you cannot never use it. And you cannot make trickery to get the money back. No. You cannot blackmail her to get that money. No, it's haram. This is an interesting rule. If you never pay that $100,000, you cannot sleep with her. Technically, you can sleep with her, but you cannot do that thing. I'm not joking. This is a serious matter, right? Now, this is what wonderful thing happened. This is a man's psychology. Allah had known our biology. The moment he hadn't paid her mahar, but the second night she allowed him to do it, right? The subsequent night she cannot say that anymore. Why? Because again, Allah knows the biology of mankind. Actually, man. The moment they do it, he go crazy. Because they already tasted. It's not permissible for a wife to say, no, I give you one time, but I cannot do it and because you don't give my mahar. It's haram. So, if you want to be fair, don't do it until you give your mahar. That is your right. Do you understand the subtlety? It's very important. No blackmailing. And the second thing is maskan. This is what we call sakana. Maskan is not a house, like a 5-bedroom house or apartment house. No. How many of you have go to Hajj? Go to Makkah? How many of you? Alhamdulillah. How big was Aisha's house? How big is our mother Aisha Radhana's house?
4x4.
3 graves, right? 3 graves. Rasulullah, Abu Bakr, Umar. That is her room, right? That is literally, that is part of paradise in this life, in this world today. But that is a maskan. So when you say maskan, it's not a physical house. It's a state. It's a state the state of the state of the house. And now, this is important. That is masculine. Food, health insurance, clothing. That's obligatory. Now, this is husband right. Number one, is that's all. And nothing to be embarrassed about it. That's the man, that is biology. Forget the rest.
That's the most important.
I'm going to describe an example, but for you, right? What is a nushus wife? Number one, nushus wife is a wife that when the husband says whatever word, because each one has to have a code, especially about those children. X, Y, Z. You want it, you know, your wife knows it, right? No one knows, right? And she said, she just ignored you. And if she's not excused, no medical reason, whatever. Cooking is not an excuse. She haven't taken a shower is not excuse. She don't feel good about it, no excuse. The only legitimate excuse is medical reason. If she refuses, the beginning of nushuz. And that is start the ball rolling of problem. Because it's number one right of the husband. The rest is secondary. I mean, but respect means you never want to bring a person that he doesn't like to be at your home. Except you have right, like your mother, your parent, for example. If he doesn't like your friend, no, you cannot bring that friend over to your house. Period. Because that is she is the leader of the household. Marriage challenges. This is the verses was recited. First of all, ma asaba musibatin illa biiznillah. No musibah happen except with Allah's permission. Now, ya allazina amanu inna min azwajikum wa awladikum aduwwun lakum. Adu, it's like shaitan. Shaitan is aduwwun lakum. What is it? Among your children and your spouse. I don't like the translation. The translation there is a wife. Istri, right? No. As wife. As what means spouse. Could be a husband. Could be a wife. So, and of course the history of this verse was for the wife. Because the wife of the companion doesn't allow him to do hijrah. Another family, the wife doesn't allow him to do jihad. And then they become upset. They are very scornful to the wife. Then Allah revealed the half of the verse. وَإِن تَعْفُوا وَتَعْصُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا. And that is a step of forgiveness. And this is the way of how you going to run your family. When your wife or your husband do mistake, what's your choice? The first choice, realizing you have to do is sifat 20. This happened, Allah knows it. Aliman. Kanu aliman. Allah knows it. Allah qadiran. Allah will it. Allah muridan. Allah will it. That from your epistemology in your heart. Therefore, I have to respond to these three levels. What is afwa? Let's say your wife hurts your feeling. Say something bad about your characters. She doesn't know it. In other words, she was talking between group. You are in a dinner party. Your wife mentioned something that make her heart cut, right? You know it. She doesn't know it. You ask Allah, Allah forgive her. She doesn't know. No one knows. Allah knows. Angel will write. Allah said, give him 10 points. The angel excited. Oh, actually, you said, oh honey, that hurts my heart. She know it, you know it. It's okay. Now another two people know.